Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, and this is my garden. This is just going to be another one of my weekly garden tours. I think I'm just going to hit those highlight areas again. I'm thinking about kind of switching it up, that maybe at the first of the month I do the big garden tour, and then throughout the month I just do those highlight tours. So since this is the third tour of August, I'm going to show you some things that are changing and maybe aren't going so well, or maybe they are going well. But yeah, let me show you my garden. So I'm actually going to take you over this way first, but I'm going to wave at Albus, who's over there in the window. But I did want to take you over here because I did plant out the little baby spinach that was actually growing in the nursery area. And that was literally the only one. But I do have some spinach that's starting to really take off over here. This is the New Zealand spinach, just like that one is. And so I'm hoping all of that really starts to fill in. And I'm hoping at some point these pepper plants start to produce. We do have, I don't really show you this area too much, so I'm going to, I think, do an in-depth of this area. So as you can see, the spaghetti squash has really taken over this bed in a way I was not anticipating. I have harvested one spaghetti squash so far, but inside there is also some more of that New Zealand spinach, and there's some runner beans that I haven't actually seen any beans on yet, buried within there as well, and a tomato plant, which I don't think that's going to produce anything, but it's in there. But yeah, you can see at least one green spaghetti squash right there. And if I take you along the back side of this trellis, you usually see it from the other side, but from this angle you can see another one right there. And I did clean out this whole back area of the bed. It was lettuce and it had all started to bolt. I might do some daikon radishes in there for a fall planting. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, because at least it would just get a little bit of morning sun and then it would get shaded back here, but I'd have to make sure to water it because this part doesn't get a lot of water right now, unfortunately. I did want to show you this bed right here. As you can see, my white pumpkin isn't doing the greatest, and the volunteer cowpeas are actually starting to disappear as well. I maybe got a handful of beans off that plant, and then something just started taking over this area. But I do have, even though even the orange pumpkin vine is starting to go, but you can, if I can come in here, you can see this guy, and he is so cute. I'm hoping that he's not being eaten from the underside, but it's only August, so I don't necessarily want to harvest it yet, but maybe I do. I don't know. Somebody help me. Should I harvest this pumpkin? But these vines, at least from this side, are looking really good. They're even climbing up into those tomato plants. I'm letting it because those plants aren't doing the best, so I just kind of let it go. But if I take you around, you will see that the zucchini plants are gone, so I'm not going to get any more zucchinis this year. I'm okay with that. But the vines from this side are actually starting to die back a little bit. They're not looking the greatest. And it is August, and these are butternut and more of those like single person size squashes. So I'm a little devastated by this, but I also understand that because these are more of those smaller personal size squashes, the life cycle of these vines are going to be a little bit different than the big pumpkins. And since I am having such a hard time, excuse me, such a hard time with the big pumpkins, and I've been pulling out the zucchini plants, everything that has been eating those is starting to move, which I think is what is happening here. Plus we've had some really hot and muggy days. It just hasn't been good for this overall. And the same can be said with the tomato plants. Even though I've been getting a lot of tomatoes in, the plants, they're not looking the greatest right now. So I'll be honest with you, most of my tomatoes are coming from these plants, those back plants right there, and then these plants right here. All the rest of the tomato plants that you see over there, and the ones in those pink beds, half of those are gone at this point. And this right here, and that right there. They're kind of a mess. They're not looking good. You could say the same for some of these in here. They're starting to peter out. One of the things I didn't anticipate this year was grasshoppers and how they would change up this ecosystem. Oh, and goodness, I had moved the sunflowers over here, and it looks like they didn't like this area. Well, dang it. Now I know. But the zinnias over here are really starting to come in, and I even like how the bird bath sunflowers are coming in. I find that kind of adorable. I kind of like it. And the kiwi plant that I planted 2 weeks ago now is looking really, really good. As are all the vines back here. I just need to figure out what was going on in these beds. This one tomato plant is looking like it's doing okay. I haven't seen any fruit on it, but it's kind of interwoven with the basil plant. But I'm sure that this bed right here soon is gonna be done. Yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna get any paste tomatoes this year. We've got some, I've got some midnight Romas there that I could probably harvest later today. But the rest of the plants, I haven't really seen anything. The beans are looking really good though. So I think I should see beans at some point. But yeah, it's not looking good. And then whatever these are really thriving, I guess. For all I know, that might just be a giant weed, but it's there. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure what I want to plant in this area right here. Maybe I'll just throw some beans in there just so that I can use it as a cover crop. And then we've got this over here. It looks like this tomato plant isn't very happy. Not sure why. Oh, it's the freaking grasshoppers. We got one there, and we got one there. The grasshoppers have also been eating my tomatoes. Little stinkers. Yeah, otherwise I'm still letting whatever wants to go to seed over here, just because the pollinators really like it. But I do need to go through and maybe harvest some of the carrots, because see, this guy is just like pushing his way up. But yeah, that is pretty much what the garden is looking like right now. I've got some things in pots that are doing fairly well. I mean, you've got, unfortunately, some dieback there, but the tomatoes themselves look good. Haven't seen any fruit on this one, but it's very green. But yeah. Oh, I did want to show you this real quick before I sign off. So this is the other side of the trellis with the squash, and it is starting to come up and over onto the deck. And it just kind of makes me giggle. So yeah, that is just a little bit of the garden as it stands right now. I am starting to think if there are any fall produce that I want to get started. I did mention the daikons, which if I want to do that, I probably should get started here in the next couple of weeks. It's just been really hot. I think I'll maybe wait until next week, because right now they're predicting that the temperatures are going to lower by at least 10 degrees. We're going to start hitting, hopefully, some of those more fall-like temperatures. But we all know that can change in a heartbeat. So right now, that's probably my only plan for fall crops. I might think about doing some lettuce here or there, but the problem is it usually bolts long before I can ever get anything out of it at this point. But if you would like to continue to see how my garden is growing and changing, feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I do also have an Instagram and Threads account, which I do post what I'm harvesting and how I'm preserving over there, if you'd like to check that out as well. Otherwise, I hope I will see you guys again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.